Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time of day it is by you. Hi, and I hope that you're having a good one. Happy final season and happy quarantine, and welcome to our own little version of SGN. In accordance with this, myself, as well as the Office of Residence Life at Marquette University, have decided to team up and bring that sense of light to the Marquette and Milwaukee community. No matter where you are, whether it be here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin like myself, or anywhere around the globe, you are part of that community. And I hope that some good news can bring you some light and joy wherever you may be. Ladies and gentlemen and others, this is Marquette's SGN. I'm Jake LaFleur, and while I may not know what day of the week it is, truly, or how to record or do any of this at all in the slightest, I'm gonna try. And now, for some good news. Goats in mountains and turkeys, oh my. Life has changed drastically for everyone around the world since quarantine has begun. And I don't say that lightly. Routines have changed, mindsets have changed, choices have changed, life has changed. And while this change has brought bouts of anxiety and uncertainty about much of what we know and about much of what we will know, these times have also brought about a change in scenery. On Marquette's campus, what once were streets of bustling students and keelboard crawlers, you know who you are, has now turned into a haven for wildlife. In fact, I think with all the free time that I've had, I believe I've become very well-rounded on the idea of the environment and environmental specialties. I have my PhD actually right here, just so you can have clarification as to where my expertise comes from. This is Dr. LaFleur not talking. Anyway, it really is crazy to see just how out in the open and social all these animals have become. And that's not only occurring here in Milwaukee, but literally everywhere around the world. But one of the craziest ones that I've seen has been donkeys going for local transactions at banks in India. It's something I wish I could be doing a lot more right now personally, at least making more deposits rather than withdrawals, just because my bank account is not looking too hot right now. Even though I'm a doctor and that should be paying the bills, it's not. But even to other places around the world too, from deer wreaking havoc and just walking in the streets of Japan, to coyotes going for brisk walks in the morning in San Francisco. But even to one of my personal favorites and everything too that I've seen are actually sea lions in Delhi, laying against metallic doors, just napping. And that same expression on their face that you see in this picture, it's the same exact look this doctor is gonna make when he has cheese curds from Doghouse again. I cannot wait. In Milwaukee's case, however, different compared to the rest of the world, these animals are and look a little bit different. So, as I mentioned before, turkeys and goats have been wreaking havoc throughout the city of Milwaukee, including on Marquette's campus. And just as rare as it is to get an A in an organic chemistry course, that's how rare it's been to find any pictures of any of the ghosts that we've seen throughout Milwaukee. They're there, I promise you, again, you trust me. Besides that, and besides the point at all in general, turkeys themselves have been showing up like crazy anywhere and everywhere throughout the city, to the point where I personally think that come the fall, they should have their own residence halls. Similar to the unity that the Marquette community and the local wildlife has experienced, I want to take some time now to talk about the unity that is Milwaukee and Marquette. It's still so important for each of us to know what we can do to not only help ourselves, but what we can do to help others around the world, starting with our own local communities. This idea has been emphasized throughout the Milwaukee community, and is something Sophia Minard, a sideline reporter for the Milwaukee Brewers on Fox Sports Wisconsin, is very passionate and informed about.
Thanks, Jake. I'm Sophia Minard. I'm a proud Marquette alum from 2009, and I currently work for the Milwaukee Brewers as their sideline reporter on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Now, we know that Milwaukee has been significantly impacted by COVID-19, but I love to see that the way that the city of Milwaukee has responded with great resilience and creativity and care to really rally around our community and the people that are really in need right now. And the first I want to tell you about is in the restaurant industry with Don's Diner in Walker's Point. Now, Don's Diner has shifted to more of a convenience store, And so they're selling groceries, they're selling toilet paper, some essential items, and they're also offering a limited carryout menu. Now, better yet, they're also selling gift cards to help those in need, like for example, the people in the service industry who are without work right now. Another great restaurant I want to tell you about that is doing really impactful work is the Tandem on Fond du Lac. And the Tandem is led by their chef and owner, Caitlin Cullen, who now has shifted her operation to offering free community meals for those in need. And she's been able to work with some other local businesses here in Milwaukee. And in order to continue offering those free community meals, the Tandem is now receiving support from a nonprofit, the World Food Kitchens. In the sports world, we know that Milwaukee loves their sports. It is a great sports town, and certainly the teams are stepping up as well to provide some community relief. The entire Milwaukee Bucks roster, led by MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, made a generous donation to the Fiserv Forum Arena staff just to cover their income and so that they have some money coming in while no events are being held at Fiserv Forum. And the same for the Milwaukee Brewers. Bob Uecker, Ryan Braun, Christian Yelich, a number of other players have stepped up to contribute to the Miller Park Relief Fund, a very similar type of assistance just to all of the great staff at Miller Park who work all of the Brewers games and events there throughout the year. And one last one I want to tell you about is one that I'm proud to be able to participate in, and that's through the Milwaukee Business Journal 40 Under 40 class. The entire group rallied together, and so we partnered with a number of local businesses, restaurants, and coffee shops to buy products from them to then deliver to the healthcare workers that are doing some really hard essential work right now treating this coronavirus pandemic. So we've been able to raise over $27,000 through a GoFundMe, and again, receiving so much support from the Milwaukee community and being able to partner with some local restaurants who are being affected right now and then contribute their great products to the healthcare workers who are really in need of some relief and some refreshment. So we're thrilled to be able to offer that. Until next time, stay well, stay healthy, be safe, and remember there's always some good news happening here in Milwaukee. Thanks.
This bridge is also evident in our student communities, both on campus and off. In fact, there's good coming from within Marquette's buildings, as work is being done by none other than our fellow student community. So our desk receptionists at Marquette University, denoted as our DRs, they're the unsung heroes of Marquette University and of the residence life community. These individuals are what allow for community to be formulated as soon as you walk in the doors of any of our residence halls, and I truly believe that their work goes unnoticed by so many people across campus and beyond. And some of our DRs from the 2019 to 2020 academic year have actually remained on campus during all of this to help ensure that residence halls stay clean, they stay operable, and that they remain safe. And you yourself watching this may have even experienced or met or had some sort of interaction with one of these DRs, like in the past couple of weeks, especially during the hectic process that was moving out. And from the bottom of my heart, if you're a DR and you're watching this, thank you so much for what you do. And thank you so much for what you're going to continue to do going forward into the future. This university would not be the same at all without you whatsoever, and I want you to always know that and know just how much we appreciate it, know how much I appreciate it, because you truly are incredible and deserve nothing but the world. So thank you. I next want to highlight the story of one of our own. This special woman, Lupe Diaz, is a graduating senior at Marquette University's College of Nursing. Lupe is currently working as a student nurse assistant on an ICU step-down floor at Rush University Hospital in Chicago, Illinois. And I, as well as a special someone, had the privilege of being able to speak with her the other day. So my first question I have for you is, what is a student nurse assistant, and what has that experience transformed into during the time that you've served on the ICU step-down floor?
Okay, so a student nurse assistant, I know there's a bunch of different acronyms like CNAs, SNAs, PCTs. They're basically they help the nurses with patient care mostly. So getting patients up, getting them showered, anything they may need really. And I feel like it really has changed so far in that everything is just busier now. You know, before we used to be able to sit down and chart in between, but now you get out of one room, you have to go into another. Or patients are more critical where you need to really call nurses for help and say, hey, what do I do here? I help this patient out and stuff like that. So it's more of a load and a little bit a heavier more critical load than before.
Wow. So then going off of that and everything too, how has that experience changed you as a future nurse and personally as well?
I think it's really made me realize the power of teamwork. You know, I've always loved my fellow nurses, but especially right now, just seeing all of us working together, trying our hardest to figure all of this out, it really, really makes me appreciate that. And of course, makes me more willing to put myself out there and pick up more shifts to help out these nurses who are struggling. And it also makes me realize that I do want to work in the ICU in the future. I know that's where it's really hot right now, but like I really want to give or do my part in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's incredible, especially that you've like realized so much and that like you want to devote your future to ICU work and everything as well. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much too for all that you're doing and all that you're going to be continuing to do moving forward as a nurse assistant and as a nurse once you graduate and everything too. Mm-hmm. I'm thankful for individuals like you and to know that I'm not alone at all in that sentiment. Isn't that right, Dr. Lovell?
Yeah, that's right. How you doing, LeVay?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Well, first, I want to thank you for really demonstrating what it means to be the difference as a Marquette student and the time and energy you're spending in the ICU and taking care of others. And maybe I had a couple of questions. How many hours are you working a week now? Like how long are your shifts?
I'm picking up more hours than I was before. Now I'll be working. I used to only work weekends, but now I'll be working maybe 3 more days on top of that. So it's not full time quite just yet, but I am trying to pick up as much as possible.
Yeah. And so do you still have finals coming up this week to worry about as well? In terms of all those, that's busy. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll make it work. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe just tell me, you kind of answered this question already a little bit, but how has this experience formed what you want to do going into the future? Obviously no one was able to predict what was going to happen, but certainly, I think it gives us all a new perspective on life.
It does. Yeah. It really makes me thankful for the small moments, that we weren't thankful for before. And going to the future, I think bringing that sort of mentality, like in the moment and just being happy, and also just giving back to people in our community whenever we can.
Yeah. Yeah, I said that was when somebody asked me, well, is there any silver lining in all this? I said, well, one thing is none of us are going to take some of those things that we did on a daily basis for granted anymore. And the connections we had with people and, just being able to be with each other on campus is something that, I certainly won't take for granted anymore. I'd certainly miss it. Well, again, I just want to say thank you for, all that you're doing and being such a great representative of Marquette University. Know that we're really proud of you and all the others that are out there serving on the front line. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't know you were going to be here. That's exciting.
Okay. Hey, have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Finals,
Bye.
Okay? Bye.
I always love witnessing moments like that. Seeing someone so deserving of recognition, finally getting that recognition. It's important, especially when they're out putting their lives at risk for the better of the world, for the rest of us. Just so we're all talking, just around the same page, you're now talking to an accomplished doctor, and I may have written my PhD, but I'll just get a new one. I think they make new copies elsewhere, but you're talking to me as a doctor right now, so you can trust everything that I'm saying.